Hello and welcome to AB Calculus Semester 1 Getting Started. This video is going to just walk you through the way that I have this course set up. My name is Mr. Shanklin and I will be your teacher for this semester. Let's take a look here. If you go to the Getting Started button, which you should be in already because if you're watching this video, this is the video that explains everything about the course. Okay, so let's go on to the next button. The next button is a pace chart. The pace chart basically tells you what is due each week. Now, everything that is in red is the only thing that is going to go into the grade book that is graded. Everything else you can do or you don't have to do. Since this is an AP course, I would highly recommend that you do everything that is there because in order to complete the assessments, you are going to need all of that information. So if you take a look, there's 2 assessments in week 1, 2 in week 2, 2 in week 3. There's week 4. Holy cow, we've got 4 plus a test. Week 5 there's 4, and then 2, 2, 2. So it's in between 2 and 4 assessments for each week. Some weeks are a little bit more intense than others, but it is an AP course, so we do expect you to do a lot because we need to get through everything by the beginning of May, so you are set for the AP test. Okay, so that's the pace chart. I would definitely print this out, and then every time you get something complete, just check it off. The next button down is the live e-sessions. Now, the live e-sessions in this class will be from 3 o'clock until 4 on Monday afternoons. So please, if you can at all come to the live e-sessions, please come to those because I go through the material for the week, so it will make it a lot easier than having to read the textbook and look at the videos. I'll go through types of problems that you'll need to know. If you can't make it to the live e-session, there is a recorded session, or I record each one of them, and then you just go down to the recorded e-session, and then just watch that. The next button down is the announcements. Now that's the page that you will come to every time you log into the course. You will always be directed to the announcement page, and the announcement page always has what is due for that week. So if I click on week number 1 announcements, you will see that what is due for week number 1. The next button down is course information. It has our grading policy. It has general grading policy for eAchieve. It has the matrix. It has our learning targets. Netiquette, academic honesty, things that I'm not going to go through, but when you have time, you might want to go through that, especially the grading policy. Staff information, well, that's Mr. Shanklin. Then it also tells us when our live e-sessions are. They're from 3 to 4 o'clock, and a little bit more about myself. Then the next button down is the lessons. That is the most important button because the lessons I have it all broken up into weeks, so each week has the material for that week. So if I go to week number 1, click on there, we're on section 1.2, finding limits graphically and numerically. You'll see the textbook. You should be reading page 65 to 71. You should also have the videos from the textbook. You should have Khan Academy videos. A lot of times I'll put YouTube videos in here, especially if students have questions about the material. I'll throw some YouTube videos in here, PowerPoint presentation. There's notes that I took way back when I used to teach face-to-face, and I just kept those notes and put those in there. Then after you're done with the lesson material, you have a weekly practice. The practice you must score an 80% on in order to move on to the assessment. So if, for example, the week number 1, and you'll see that I have all the practices set up as 1A or 2A, 3A, 4A, 4B. That means, if it says 4A, that means it is for week 4. And so you can see that there's 2 practices for week 4. We must have 2 sections, infinite limits and limits at infinity. So those are 2 different things. So you have a practice for each one. All right. So you have to get an 80% or better to move on. You get 2 chances to get an 80%. If you don't get it, an 80% after the second attempt, then what you need to do is you need to email me your work and new answers, and I will update the practice myself. Okay. Then once you score an 80% on the practice, you go to the weekly assessment, click on that, and you will find the weekly assessment. Now, if you did not get an 80% and you go into the weekly assessment, you won't see anything. These are all adaptive release, so they're not released to you until you prove that you understand the material. And then each section, there will be 2 assessments for it. So if we're only dealing with one section, week 1, you'll find assessment 1A and assessment 1B. One of them will be free response and one of them will be multiple choice. Okay, that is how I have the class set up. The rest of the buttons you really don't need to know right now. Discussion board, yeah, you could do that. Getting to know you. My grades is pretty important because if you click on here, it's going to show you all the assignments and all that. And when you take an assessment, you can click on the button and it will show you what you got on there, and it will also show you the feedback for it. Okay, so that basically covers everything in AB Calculus. If you have any questions on how to do something, please email or call me, and I will definitely help you through it. You guys have a great beginning of the year, and I hope all of you come to the live e-sessions on Mondays from 3 to 4. Bye.